Really, James? You don't know who's in it by now? I think there's been a few hints not so cleverly dropped.
Well, I don't have any more Stallone things, unless we're talking about my Stallone collection back here. You know, First Blood, Over the Top, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. So all these great movies, and you know, that's not it. I also got The Specialist and Cliffhanger, and needless to say,
all the promotion he can get. Believe me.
I'm just missing Cobra and Nighthawks.
How can you not have Cobra,
Dude,
man? That's like...
It's not an expensive tape, but there's this one shithead in the tape group that's like, that's what he collects. It's Stallone's Cobra.
Oh, God, he just collects Okay.
He has like a whole shelf of Cobra.
So he's like that one dude with 3 on a meat hook, but with like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Didn't the Something Awful guys do an art project where they opened up a video store that just has a copy of one movie? It's some Tom Hanks movie.
Oh my God.
Oh my
like
God, that's
something.
It is.
Jesus Christ.
So to answer it for you, James, Tulsa King is just Stallone Sopranos, but we'll let Larry have an episode.
Let me pull up the name of the director really quick here because I'm a shithead and I forgot his name. IMDb. So the creator's name is Taylor Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan is responsible for Yellowstone, and I think that's pretty much it. He's a actor, singer, songer, you know, fucking whatever.
Jesus Christ,
but you know,
man,
he's like, I'm an all-in-one kind of guy. You know, which makes
of the industry, right?
Which makes for subpar things in all categories.
Yeah, pretty much. Jack of all trades. Nothing's going to be great, but you can do a lot.
Do you know the full phrase of that? And I think this is very important because people have told me being a jack of all trades is the worst thing you can be. So it's a Shakespeare, I believe, line. And it's a jack of all trades is... What is it?
Master of none.
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but always better than a master of one. That is the full quote.
Always better than a master of one.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
He's a master of none, but always better than a master of one. Because he can do more things than just that specific field. He may not be phenomenal in everything, but as utility purposes, the jack of all trades has it all.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So, like I said, just so you guys know and you can feel better about yourselves, if you're a jack of all trades like me.
But then you end up like Taika Waititi, and like, you know, things aren't going all that great for him.
Why? What's going with it? I'm not hip on whatever's happening.
Oh, well, Taika, well, I mean, the backlash from, what's it called?
Oh, Love and Thunder?
Oh, dude, people aren't happy with him, man.
Yeah. I think he's got more good than bad.
I know, he does, but I mean, it wouldn't be difficult to redeem himself.
Right.
But it's just, he took a hit.
Right.
And then, like, there's some other things that are just grating on people's nerves on, like, a smaller scale. And, you know, it's those smaller scale things that build up and make people be like, I hate this person!
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that's exactly how it works.
Get him out of here!
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. But, I mean, I'm not to say that he's not gonna make good movies again.
Look, these are Hollywood people.
Yeah, dude.
They're not good people. I've tried talking to you guys about this.
I'm not going to say that they're all scumbags, but I mean,
they're all children blood drinking monsters. But I watch their movies anyway.
Of course.
Hey, you gotta get that adrenochrome something.
That's right. That's right.
And also, have you guys heard the quote? I'm sure Larry has. It's another famous Shakespeare one, and that is, "It's better to Stallone than do it alone."
Ooh, yeah, it's got to be Shakespeare. It's an old one, or Confucius.
I haven't heard that one, but it sounds pretty fucking bullshit to me.
Too Confucius, too extreme.
Right. So anyway, this is created by the guy who made Yellowstone. I have never had a single interest in watching Yellowstone. I hear it's good. I don't give a shit. My parents tell me that Ice Road Truckers is good. I don't give a shit. I'm not watching it anyway. Deadliest Catch, I don't give a shit. That's all their shit. I don't want to watch that. And so, like, when the majority is like, oh, this show about cowboys and shit, it's great. I'm like, there's no space babes. There's no robots. There's no...
But, I mean, isn't that the point of, like, you know, going... The whole point of just going outside of our comfort zone.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And for me, it was. Absolutely.
I just don't care about cowboys, man.
I don't either.
You know?
But, I mean, I guess...
Not to talk bad of the goth cowboy in the room.
Just put me in the corner. That's what the control room is.
But, I mean, then again, I guess maybe... Because I do like spaghetti westerns. You know, I like good.
Why?
Because
why? That's the most boring shit on the planet, dude.
It's great, man. It's good filmmaking.
If you sound like my dad.
You
sound like everyone's dad right now.
Dude, they're so good, though, man. They're good.
No.
Yeah, Nick, you can appreciate...
Space Boy, you're the one that killed spaghetti westerns. Like, dude, come on.
Once you've watched, like, a good spaghetti western all the way through, you'd find the appreciation in it, man.
No
I guarantee you would. Because the score... The good and the bad and the ugly?
All right. I will watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and I will let you all know how I felt about it the next time we talk. And I'm going to tell you, I don't give a shit how good Clint Eastwood is or any of that shit. Like, I'm going to be bored as fuck.
Dude, I think you'll like it, man.
And I watch sci-fi movies.
But, dude, it's like, you know...
you know, I can be bored as fuck watching a movie.
Dude, I can be bored as fuck, too, man. But
it makes me thirsty watching it.
It's slow burn, but, like, it's good shit because it's entertaining characters. It's great score. You're going to love the score. Ennio Morricone, the guy who did The Thing, score, did The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. And all of...
what about Once Upon a Time in the West, the big one?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he does like all the weird shit, man.
I'm gonna banish you guys to a Western podcast.
We're not gonna do it. We're gonna turn you into.
No, you won't.
We will.
You won't.
We're gonna turn you. It's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen.
I finally come to like terms with black and white old horror movies, which for a long time I just couldn't do. But now I've watched so many horror movies that I'm like, I don't care. Just give me something with substance.
But you crossed that bridge, and once you did, you were like, oh, God, what did I...
I love it.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like once you acquire that taste for Westerns, you're like, you would get that appreciation.
Is there a Western with Dracula?
You might find one. It's not a good one.
Oh.
There's a movie you need to check out with Mr. Blade himself, Wesley Snipes, and it's called Gallow Walkers, and it's like... You know how Cowboys versus Aliens is, well, Cowboys versus Aliens. This is like Cowboys versus weird voodoo, zombie, necromancer. It's different.
That sounds great. What's it called?
Gallow Walkers.
I remember seeing the cover for that one for sure.
I'm gonna like that more than The Good, the Bad, and the
well.
I can assure you.
The thing is, like, it's funny you mention that because there's like, because I listen to like a lot of short story audiobooks, and there's this one that I listened to.
Yeah,
in
reading's
podcast.
tough, man.
Well, I mean, because
I'm just giving you a
when
hard
I'm at work, I listen to like Horror Babble, and there's this one story about this dude, this cowboy, who finds a cabal of vampires, and it's gory as shit, man, and it's Old West and friggin' roughnecks and shit.
What about John Carter?
What about him?
He was a fucking cowboy, and he got blasted off into space and saved the day. Anyway, back to Tulsa Kid. We've been derailed, but that's okay. So, made by the creator of Yellowstone, didn't give a shit. You tell me Sylvester Stallone's in it, I'm on board. Plus, I already got Paramount Plus, and I've watched too much shit, so I needed something to watch.
I was surprised.
I was surprised, too, because I believe... Did you watch Samaritan?
No.
His superhero movie,
no,
it's a Prime one. I mean, people wouldn't say it's garbage, because Stallone's in it, but Stallone's in it. I'm on board. He plays a guy, Dwight Manfredi, who was a gangster and has been locked up in prison for 25 years. And now that he's getting out of prison and he's kept his mouth shut the whole time, he's going to see if they married me back. I'm going to see, I married the life, I'm going to see if it married me back. Yeah, with his floppy old Stallone mouth which looks like a wax lips that are melting in the heat.
He's definitely very waxy looking.
Yeah.
Like, it's very blocky. And
I'm sorry, Sylvester, if you see this, I'm so sorry. I still want to meet you. You're the man.
Pushing 70... almost 80 now?
Yeah, something like that. He plays a 75-year-old character in the show.
Yeah.
So Dwight, he's getting out of jail and he's getting picked up, from prison, and he's like, obviously being taken to reconnect with his old mafia guys. And the driver won't tell him where they're going. They pull up at a strange house. He won't tell him whose house it is. And he goes inside and he's, a little weary about the whole thing. And he sees his old mafia guys. At least his old boss. His boss is all tubes up his nose.
Yeah, he's not doing too good.
No, he's falling apart. But Stallone realizes, Manfredi, I'll probably end up calling him Stallone this whole time, that things are not the same because they can no longer offer him a job in New York City. And of course, Stallone's pissed off. He's like, look, I gave you my loyalty and my silence for 25 years. My wife left me. I haven't seen my kid in 18 years. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to move you out to Tulsa. And he's just like, what the fuck? What's out in Tulsa? So they want him to, plant a flag and start up
I hear
a mafia
like when you
there.
Like if I was him, I feel like I would have like that look on my face that I would imagine would make an audible fart come out of my ear. like
And so, he's pissed off, and these young hotshot mafia guys are like, yo, calm down. Whatever. You don't understand what's going on. So Stallone gives him the old Rocky 1-2.
Right, the one dude
the capo.
who's a capo. Yeah, he's a capo. Yeah. And,
capo.
Whatever.
I'm sure the Italians will tear us apart in the comments. Yeah, we can only hope.
Maybe.
But
we're lucky.
So he accepts this. Sorry. Need a sip of my bull.
Switching to Red Bull Cam?
Switching to Red Bull Cam. We're not sponsored by Red Bull either, but I would love to be sponsored by Red Bull. So he accepts it. He's like, all right, I'm going to start out fresh. He goes out to Oklahoma. And what's hilarious, he's like, there's shots of him walking through the airport. He's like in a suit, and there's like Native Americans in their traditional or regular garb. There's just like holy rollers in their, outfits, and he just sticks out like a sore thumb, like a New Yorker, Yeah. And when he first steps outside the door, this grasshopper lands on him. He's just like, what the fuck? Until he blows his fucking cool. And, but he ends up getting a taxi ride. He meets up with this guy, offers him a cab ride, and he just needs to find a hotel where they're not going to bust my balls, you know what I'm saying? And he takes him to this shitty hotel just to kind of set up and get comfortable.
Base of operations
shit. And they're driving back around, and they drive past this dispensary. And Stallone's like, yo, what's this? And he's like, it's a dispensary. He's like,
and this is when we get the idea that basically the theme that most problems can be solved by punching people or throwing things at their face.
Right. And this is like another one of those. They only did it a couple times, but it was like, oh, he doesn't get it. He's a man out of time. He doesn't understand how the future is, And that's kind of what you think about this character going into it.
100%.
And so he goes into this dispensary, and he's just kind of like, hey, how does this all work? Blah, blah, blah. Where's your boss? He's like, who runs this shit?
Right. Thinking it's like a friggin' CD.
He's like, no, not who's the boss, who runs it. He's thinking like gangsters control the area. Right,
and it doesn't operate the way that he thinks that it does, obviously.
And so he meets up with the boss. Well, no, he steps back outside because they try to kick him out. He comes back in with a steel bottle.
Yeah, the driver's bottle.
Yep. He walks in, whips it at the security guard, knocks him out, and then goes to talk to Bodie, the boss. As they're in the back room, he's like, yo, where's your books? Where's all your numbers? Blah, blah, blah. Another old school thing that Bodie's like, what are you talking about? This is all legal, dude. What do you want from me? And they're sitting in Bodie's office. And it's at this point we realize that Manfredi very, very much so does understand how this operates. And if you've ever worked in a dispensary or were curious, you realize that money is not going everywhere that it's supposed to, because you can't put it all in the bank because it's a federal bank, and only states legalize. So a lot of these dispensary owners sometimes do shady shit with their money.
Well, sometimes, sometimes, not all the time.
Yeah, a little bit. Still let me into your business, please. But it's not you guys, I swear. But he lets Bodie know that he's very well aware that he can't put that money in the bank and that Bodie's hiding the money somewhere. And he finds out where Bodie is hiding the money in the office. Stallone, he's going in there, he's like, I want a 20% cut every week, blah, 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 and I'll protect you. And Bodie is just like,
protect us from what?
Yeah, well, there was nothing wrong until you showed up. What the fuck? And so, but still, Bodie's in a pickle because Stallone could rat him out to the feds.
Right.
That money is not legit. And so he makes a deal with Bodie that he's going to get money from every, offer him protection, all this shit. And after all that goes down and he's kind of established his first flag, he walks out with a bunch of money and he gives money to the cab driver. He's like, I want you to buy me a black Navigator, show up on time tomorrow in a suit or, whatever. And the next day...
Gives him a job.
Yeah, it gives him a job, basically.
Yeah.
The next day, he wakes up from his hotel and the dude shows up. He doesn't have a Navigator. He's got nothing.
Unfortunately, because if you show up with cash at a car dealership, as we're about to find out, it's not going to get you a car.
Yeah, the dealer, the at the dealership, the owner thought that the driver, he's called him a crackhead and that he was going to call the cops on him because he just had stacks of money.
Right.
And so, of course, Stallone's like, oh, let's take a drive. And so they drive over to the dealership and he lays the Stallone on him. He does this really intense, like, you wouldn't sell the car to my friend, my associate here. And now you're gonna sell it to him, and just gives him the right hook, bashes him with a phone, and they walk out of there with a black Navigator.
That's how it works. That's how most things are going to operate if you're Sylvester Stallone.
Right.
That's just, if you're going to punch people and you're going to get things.
That's right. You're non-expendable.
It's,
So
how it works.
Yeah. So there they go. They've planted their second flag, and at this point we realize that Stallone is way slicker.
Oh, yeah.
We thought he was just an old dumb man that wasn't aware.
I mean, it's basically what his language, and he is rough around the edges, but it's like he still knows, he's fluid enough to acclimate.
Yeah,
quickly,
absolutely.
And it's he knows how to roll with the punches.
Right. And so he then goes to another spot where he's been establishing, because he's trying to go into town and make friends. Be the guy.
Yes.
And he's going to, he goes to this bar. It's this cowboy bar, dive bar. And while he's hanging out with the locals, he's approached by these girls having a party. They're like, it's so-and-so's birthday.
But then he has some camaraderie with the dude sitting opposite. He buys him a shot and kind of establishes some kind of
relationship,
repertoire between them.
Yeah.
Rapport, I should say.
So after this girl's like, are you a celebrity? Can I take my picture with you? Blah, blah, blah. And he shoots her down. Her friend comes up and she's like, oh, you really messed up. We were going to have a wild time. And he's like, you're in a cowboy bar. How wild of a time are you going to have, And so he drags them all. He takes the whole party and they go to a strip club. He's like, this is my kind of party. He's throwing money around. He's actually not being involved in the party. He's really just hosting it.
Yeah, basically.
Sitting, observing.
Right.
And the girl that told him that he messed up is sitting next to him and they connect. And they end up going back to his hotel. And, they're banging out. They're 1, 2, 1, 2. And, post-coitus.
Using my words against me, sir.
Post-coitus. Stallone coitus. No, Stallone fucks.
Stallone fucks. Yeah,
Stallone fucks.
Everybody else participates in
coitus.
It's just a cuck in the corner.
That's right. So they're kind of talking, and she's like, oh, so how old are you? He's like, oh, 75 big ones. And then she freaks out. Yeah. And she bails.
Yeah.
And it's like, he handles it pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people in 75 much worse state.
Right.
Stallone's looking good at 75.
The next day he wakes up, we get a monologue. Oh, I'm going to build this city. I'm going to do the thing. Blah, 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 blah. I'm Stallone. I'm the fucking man. And we get a cut to a guy in a car.
Looking really
a mafia guy.
Happy. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, he's on the phone with somebody. And he's like, is there any possible way Dwight Manfredi could be in Tulsa, Oklahoma? So we know that there's other bad mafia guys in Tulsa that know who he is, that don't want to be involved with him, waiting. So that's story arc happening right there.
Like, what the fuck's this all about?
Right. And then...
if he has enemies, why would they be in Oklahoma?
Tulsa. Yeah, right. And then we get a cut as the FBI is talking. There's in an FBI office, they're talking about, Dwight Manfredi has graced us with his presence in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're going to be keeping an eye on him. And we see in the lineup of FBI workers, it's the girl that he hooked up with. She's an FBI agent, which is going to be another weird little arc going on in the story. And that's where the episode ends. I know episode 2 just came out recently. Haven't had a chance to watch it.
I've watched it, and
3. 3's out?
I think episode 4 is out.
No.
3 or 4?
It's only been like a week.
Well, it's 3 or 4.
Fuck. All right.
But I watched part of episode 3 or 4, but I watched episode 2, and it was good.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? It is only 3 episodes.
Okay.
It's 3.
I was gonna say I can't be that far behind.
No, yeah, episode 2 is pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just like, the way he handles this thing is like, it's Sylvester, and
it's fun.
Yeah.
And you know what?
You can't take any of it seriously.
Right, and I don't think he's taking it seriously.
Oh, absolutely
either.
not. No.
A lot of people hate Stallone because he's that one-note guy or whatever, but like he's well aware of that and he's playing off of that.
Yeah.
Especially
you can't fault him for that.
Yeah. So I think he did a great job. I thought all the actors and actresses did a really good job. I think this is going to be a fun show, and I'm excited to keep up on it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah. So that is all we have for I'm Having an Episode this week, and that actually concludes our episode.
Yeah, that's it. That wraps it up.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. If you liked anything in today's episode, let us know. So we'll keep doing it. Drop it in the comments. If you want to see more Pull Box, more Having an Episode, more Ticket Booth, more Stallone, you just let me know. And I think...
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like, just quarter it, and then, we can talk from there.
Dude, I got, 20 episodes worth of material.
But you don't even have Cobra!
I don't want to talk about it. I'm getting Cobra soon.
The best fucking... The only Stallone movie that matters, and you don't have
No, don't say that. Don't say that. So, if you like today's episode, make sure you click that like and subscribe button down below to follow us for more future episodes. And until next time, we'll see you on Unpopular.